Hip-hop has never been this divided, not in a long time anyway, and there isn't much anybody can do about it at this point. When Kendrick Lamar won that rap battle, the culture was impacted in ways it hasn't been in forever. K-Dot redrew the lines of the entire culture as we know it. On one side, we've got artists pushing lyricism, depth, and real artistry like the king himself. On the other side, we've got the ones who have refused to convert, artists who see rap as a branding tool, a streaming hack, and a way to manufacture clout. And now, in the aftermath of this war, we're witnessing the next chapter of this divide. A new rap beef is brewing, and the one stirring the pot is none other than Drizzy Drake himself. But here's the thing, this one isn't about him versus Kendrick anymore. This time, he's targeting the artist that Kendrick himself called the hardest rapper out right now, Doechii. Right now, Doechii is on fire, and there's no denying it. This is a megastar in the making. A real, undeniable talent the female rap game hasn't seen in a while. I mean, to put it in perspective, she's got a Grammy for Best Rap Album, multiple chart-topping hits, and a growing fanbase that actually cares about the music rather than just the hype. And what makes it even more dangerous for Drake, she's not just a rising star, she's directly aligned with Kendrick Lamar and TDE. She is one of the biggest champions of Kendrick's values about how hip-hop should be represented. But here's the thing about Doechii. She's not just another female rapper trying to ride a trend. She's a performer in every sense of the word. Her live shows are explosive, her delivery is razor sharp, and her music, it's intentional. Every bar, every beat switch, every cadence, it all serves a purpose. This is why fans are calling her the best thing to happen to female rap since Lauryn Hill. Because Doechii isn't just making songs, she's crafting experiences. She's mixing raw lyricism, theatrical performances, and high-level artistry in a way that's almost unheard of in today's industry. You don't need to look deep to know she understands the game, but rather than conform to the algorithm, she switched things up completely. And that's exactly why Drake can't stand her. Because Doechii isn't just winning, she's winning in a way that directly threatens his entire approach to rap, but not just him. The same can be said of other female rappers in the game right now, with many of them reportedly jealous of Doechii's momentum. They hate the fact that she didn't hit the mainstream doing the same generic stuff they did. The fact that she's achieving things they haven't been able to despite being in the spotlight a little longer is making them mad jealous, but what they seem to refuse to acknowledge is how she's doing it. Think about it. Drake built an empire off making music that's easy to consume, easy to forget, and perfectly epitomized for streaming numbers. The same can be said of all these female rappers, especially the ones that hit it big post-pandemic. But Doechii? She's proving that real rap still matters, that people still care about lyricism, storytelling, and authenticity, and most of all, she's making Drake's entire brand look outdated. The same for all the female rappers who make their songs just like he does. She is not about wacky bars, smooth beats, or generic algorithm-focused music. Doechii's about as real as it gets, and there's no doubt she gets more people hating on her than anyone else in the female hip-hop space. But the interesting thing is, she couldn't care less. She wants to become the queen of rap, and at this pace, she would sit on that throne easily and unchallenged. That's why Drizzy is actively trying to turn the female rap game against her. Drizzy knows that they ain't got much love for her, plus he's come to realize that her winning is the same as Kendrick winning, and he definitely doesn't want that. So now, he's playing dirty. You're probably wondering, what business could Drake possibly have? There are a couple of reasons we can allude to, so let's break it down. There's no denying that the female MC space is pretty much packed right now. The competition to stand out in that space is crazy, especially amongst the newer acts. But while they were busy competing to show who was the best, Doechii came out of nowhere and topped them all on every level imaginable. The fact that she's affiliated with TDE and got a massive cosign from Kendrick certainly helped in her swift dominance in the hip-hop space. Don't forget, all of this happened at the time when Kendrick and Drake were at each other's throats, with everyone in the game picking sides. So the fact that Doechii blew up hard while being from K-Dot's camp hated her guts. They may not show their disdain for her publicly, but they throw shades at her every chance they get. Nothing Doechii does is ever cool. Some even went as far as to call her an industry plant just because she blew up more than they could ever imagine with their own careers. But you know what's crazy about Doechii's rise to the top? It's not slowing down as many of her ops predicted. In fact, some of the songs on her debut project are performing far better than anything Drake has put out in the past few months, including his new baby, Doechii. So seeing the female rap scene dominated by one of Kendrick's loyal disciples who respects the culture and who is a big champion of quality artistic songs just like K-Dot isn't sitting well with Drake. The fact that Kendrick didn't just dethrone him, but is also spreading his influence across the genre is eating him up from the inside. But instead of stepping up himself, Drake is orchestrating a new wave of competition against Doechii, hoping that if he can't stop her, someone else will. And you know what's wild? All of these moves are to stop Kendrick's continuous dominance in hip-hop. Drake doesn't want the whole industry tuned into his belief that rap is beyond just the fun beat, that the beat is just as important as the lyrics. And to achieve this, he's trying to use the jealousy and brewing tensions between Doechii and her female counterparts to drag her into a full-blown beef. Drake's first chess move against Doechii? Bringing Ice Spice into the picture. Now, if we're being real here, Ice Spice is nowhere near Doechii's level. Like, there's no scale or merit that she beats Doechii hands down. She's made some catchy hits, sure, but that's all there is to her short career so far. All she's been doing, and spectacularly failing at recently, is making TikTok-friendly music. Does the fact that she's got a few 100 million plus streams make her a lyrical force, a groundbreaking artist, a cultural reset? No, absolutely not. And Drake knows this. So why did he choose her to be the first piece in his anti-Doechii campaign? Well, because Ice Spice was already jealous of Doechii. She's been caught making shady comments about Doechii, subtly trying to downplay her success and positioning herself as the real face of female rap's new era. And that's exactly why Drake picked her. Now, you see, this isn't some random industry pairing. This was calculated. Drake saw an easy pawn, someone already bitter, already throwing subliminals, already looking for a way to prove she belonged in the conversation. He needed someone with just enough buzz to make it look like real competition, someone he could mold into an anti-Doechii figure without people questioning it too much. And so when he dropped Triple S for You, guess who was the only non-OVO affiliated feature? Ice Spice, of course. At a time when both of their careers have hit stumbling blocks, this feature made less sense, but Drake knew what he was doing. Featuring Ice Spice wasn't some sign of respect. This was a power play, a desperate attempt to give her credibility in a battle she'd already lost before it even started. The fact that she's been throwing shades at Doechii makes you wonder what her thought process looks like. Did she really believe she could rap battle Doechii and win? This isn't a twerk competition, in case she doesn't know, and even if it was, she might not even win that either. The Doechii can actually rap, not just flow on a catchy beat, but control a track, switch cadences, and spit with real intent. She's a real performer on every level. Her stage presence, choreography, and delivery are world class. You'll almost think she's been in the game forever. Doechii is as versatile as any rapper could be. She can do hard-hitting bars, melodic storytelling, and high-energy anthems, but Ice Spice? One flow, one sound, one gimmick, that's it. And that's probably why Drake thinks she's the perfect tool for his agenda. Because Ice Spice isn't a threat to him. She's not really a threat to anyone in the game right now, if we're being honest. She's safe. A rapper who doesn't push the culture forward, doesn't challenge the system, and doesn't force hip-hop to take itself seriously again. Exactly how Drake likes it. Remember, right before Kendrick came and crashed the order of things in hip-hop, Drake and Ice Spice were arguably the most talked about artists in the rap world. Even though her music isn't all that, she actually commanded a lot of attention, and I'm sure you know why. Looking back now, it's really wild how far these two have fallen from grace. They are indeed the perfect pair to try and rival Doechii and K-Dot because they literally lost everything to them. But there's one massive flaw in their strategy. Ice Spice can try to rival Doechii all she wants, but she's not touching her. Because on an artistic level, they are worlds apart. The more people compare them, the more obvious it becomes that Ice Spice is just a brand, while Doechii is a movement. And Drake probably knows this too, which is why he didn't stop at Ice Spice. He also added one more act to the war, and she's none other than the big Latto. If Ice Spice was Drake's first attempt at creating an anti-Doechii movement, then Latto is his reinforcement plan. Because Ice Spice alone isn't enough, not even close, but Latto? She's a bigger gun, and a more lethal one, at least compared to Ice Spice. And if you've been paying attention, you've probably noticed Latto has been riding hard for Drake lately. In fact, she's been riding hard for him since this beef started. She's only just taken it up a notch lately. She's been loudly supporting Triple S for You, hyping it up like it's a classic even though many of Drake's own fans know it flopped. Latto and Drake have always been cool since she made it mainstream, and since this whole beef started, she's been working with OVO, appearing in promo content and aligning herself right next to Drake's camp. Oh, and she's been shading Kendrick's side too, making it crystal clear where her loyalty lies. Don't be surprised when a Latto and Drake collab drops sometime this year. She's obviously going to be rewarded for her loyalty. We've got to give it up to her though. Despite Drake getting cooked by Kendrick, she didn't switch up, so you shouldn't be surprised if she got a feature. It's well deserved. But here's the thing, choosing Latto to straight up challenge Doechii isn't some random move by Drake either. Just like Ice Spice, Latto has a history of bad blood with Doechii. In fact, their beef is even more publicized than Ice Spice. According to reports, the tension between them has been brewing for a while now, with subtle jabs thrown from both sides ever since their altercation. And now, when you consider just how much Doechii's stock has risen in the past year and the immense success she's had, it's really not a surprise that Latto is finally showing her cards. So, you see, this isn't about music. It's about ego, jealousy, and survival. It only makes sense that Ice Spice and Latto would align themselves with Drake. Thanks to TDE and K-Dot, Doechii's gotten bigger features, more critical acclaim, and legendary cosigns. It's clear that the two of them share a common enemy in Doechii, and now they want to fight her together, which would be really interesting. Now, don't get me wrong, I know Latto is quite good, but she's been way too focused on chasing trends. Now I know, yes, she came up off radio-friendly rap, club bangers, and the industry's obsession with marketable female MCs, but maybe she could have cared more about the craft itself. You can't listen to that album and not see true creativity and passion, something most female rappers in the game don't seem to have. The game is shifting, no doubt, and the shortcuts the likes of Latto have taken to make hits aren't working anymore. And for Latto and Ice Spice, siding with Drake is more of a survival move. They know that, and Drake knows this too. Even though he's not in the best place right now, he still gives them much more than anyone else. They need the clout that collaboration with him can give them. The hip-hop space is at a time when everybody chooses a side or remains neutral, and these two, they've chosen a side, and it's Drake's. Not like they'd ever choose Kendrick's anyway. That's their ops camp. But here's the problem. None of it matters because Doechii isn't playing their game. She's not chasing trendy beats. She's not relying on cosigns to stay relevant. And that's a problem for Drake, Latto, and everyone else who built their careers on the smoke and mirrors of the industry. Because the second you compare Doechii to Latto or Ice Spice, it becomes clear who the future of hip-hop really is, and it's not Latto or Ice Spice. So how does this all end? Will Ice Spice or Latto actually step up and diss Doechii directly? And if they do, will they crash and burn just like Drake did when he tried to take on Kendrick? I'm looking forward to reading your opinions on this in the comment section below. Drake is running out of plays, and he's so desperate for a win, but who knows? Maybe there's a side to them that we haven't seen. We definitely wouldn't mind a full-on battle between the three, and I believe Doechii is more than capable of taking them both. Do you agree too? Let me know in the comment section below.